The Cleveland Browns are signing Jameis Winston to serve as a backup to Deshaun Watson. Can I just say, I think this signing is a very bad look for the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson was accused by 30 different women of sexual harassment and or assault. I know he was never found guilty. Jameis Winston was accused of raping a woman back when he was at Florida State University, and he was also never found guilty, to be clear, but it might be worth noting that FSU did pay the woman just under $1 million to make the lawsuit go away. Having said that, we do live in a country of innocent till proven guilty, and I want to remember that when we talk about situations like this, because you also run into situations like the Matt Azaria situation. Matt Azaria was accused of rape, cut by the Buffalo Bills, just for us to find out that he had an alibi. He wasn't even at the party of the alleged gang rape that he was being accused of. He wasn't even at the party at the time that alleged incident was taking place. If you like a story with a happy ending, Matt Azaria did find his way back to the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs just signed him this offseason. But when we're talking about Jameis Winston, we should note that back at FSU, that wasn't the only accusation he's ever had. Back in 2016, he was accused by an Uber driver of grabbing her crotch area while they were waiting at a drive-thru. The driver filed a complaint with Uber immediately. Winston was banned from Uber services. And in 2018, Kate, the Uber driver, actually made a statement on the matter. She said, "I'm glad to see the NFL discipline Jameis Winston. I do appreciate his apology, even if it needs some work. I would like to publicly acknowledge the NFL investigators, particularly Lisa Friel and John Ianrelli, for their kind, professional, and thorough investigation. My experience should highlight the importance of believing women when they have the courage to come forward about sexual assault. Perhaps that night could have been prevented if others had been believed before me." Mr. Winston once said, "Girls should be silent, polite, and gentle. I disagree. Hashtag me too." Well, what can I say? Great statement by Kate. And I do want to say that in regards to Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Ben Roethlisberger, and anyone else who's ever been accused but not found guilty of sexual assault/rape is the most difficult thing to prove in a court of law. Unless you have video evidence corroborated by a rock-solid testimony, it quickly turns into he said, she said. It is so hard to prove consent, non-consent. It's so hard to prove who's telling the truth, who's lying, unless we develop the technology to have like a 100% accurate, super duper lie detector. There's just no real way to figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. Just because you weren't found guilty of sexual assault doesn't mean you didn't do it. Having said all of that, if I was morally bankrupt owner of the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam, I don't think I would have signed Jameis Winston. Even if I thought the accusations of him weren't true, I still wouldn't sign him because it just doesn't make the organization look good, and that's just too much heat to take on for a backup quarterback. I mean, look, this is the same organization that didn't care that Deshaun Watson was accused by 30 different women of sexual harassment and assault, and not only didn't care, but they made a massive trade to bring him in, paid him $230 million fully guaranteed. The most guaranteed money in NFL history goes to the guy accused by 30 different women of sexual assault. So I just don't think it looks good that both of your quarterbacks have those kinds of accusations against them. But even getting away from Jameis Winston's sexual assault allegations, in week 18 of last year, the Saints were playing the Falcons. The Saints were leading the Falcons 41-17. 1 minute and 10 seconds was left on the clock, and it was counting down. The Saints lined up in victory formation, which is a formation that kind of has an unwritten code. We're either conceding the game if we're down by a bunch and we take a knee, we're conceding, don't hit us, we're not going to hit you, just let us snap the ball, take a knee, end this thing. Or if we're up by a big amount, the code is, hey, we're taking a knee because we're going to show you mercy, all right? We're going to end this thing. And either way, the code is, all right, so we let up on this play. On that play, the Saints decided to line up in victory formation from the 1 yard line and then ran a running play. They handed off to Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams got into the end zone touchdown. Why is that Jameis Winston's fault? Because the call was quarterback kneel. Dennis Allen wanted him to kneel the ball there, and in the huddle, Jameis Winston decided to disregard the order and decided, no, let's do a fake quarterback kneel, and we're going to hand off to Jamal Williams and run the ball right up the middle and get him a touchdown. I get wanting to get your teammate a touchdown. I get that. I even get it in a blowout. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is lining up in victory formation to do it. You violated the code. What I'm not okay with is disobeying your coach's order through the headset. The coach called a play. disobeying that play is remarkably disrespectful, remarkably insulting, and sure enough, at the end of the game, when Dennis Allen goes to shake Arthur Smith's hand, of course there's words being exchanged because Arthur Smith, the coach of the Falcons at the time, is not happy that you just disrespected his team that way, that you just ran a fake quarterback kneel from the 1 yard line. Making matters worse, after the game, Jameis Winston was completely unapologetic over the matter.
My intention was to lead the team that I've been with the entire year, and we made a collective decision that we wanted to get one of our guys who they fight with blood, sweat, and tears every game in the end zone, and I'm gonna feel good about that.
No regrets.
This is the thing. It's about the team. It's not about regrets.
That's something decided on the sideline after the pick, or did you wait till you got out there to do it?
We decided on the field. I mean, we don't regret. Do we regret for scoring 41 points on them? Do you think we regret that? How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it.
The head coach tells you to kneel it out. You're asking my opinion?
Yes.
I think you should have kneeled it out.
So this dude's been accused by multiple women of sexual assault. He's got discipline issues, and he's honestly not even that good of a quarterback. I'm amazed this guy is still in the NFL. We're talking about a man who played in 7 games last year, threw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Granted, he was only given 47 pass attempts over the course of those 7 games. Either way, he's just not, his stats just aren't impressive enough. So for the Cleveland Browns, I give them an F on this signing because I don't get it. Like, you could have just flipped a 4th or 5th round pick over to the Chicago Bears, get Justin Fields in the building. Even if you're not planning to sign his 5th year option, fine, get him there. Don't sign his 5th year option. You've got him for $1.6 million this year to be your backup quarterback. You could have done the same thing for Zach Wilson. That might cost less. That might be a 6th or 7th round pick you send over to the Jets. Jets will give you Zach Wilson. You got him for just over $1 million for this year to be your backup quarterback. Those are low risk, high reward moves. So it's an F for the Cleveland Browns from me, but it is an A for Jameis Winston. I mean, I'm amazed that this dude is still in the NFL at all, let alone getting these clowns to still pay him money, to still let him be in this league. I would never trust this man to consistently take care of the football. I would never trust this man to go and get me some wins when I need them. And I would never trust this man to be the face of my organization.